Big story of the day, of course, has been Mr. Raja naming the Prime Minister in a courtroom. Arun Shourie is also with us right now, former Telecom Minister. Mr. Shourie, do you believe Raja for what he has revealed today?
Well, on the question of the Finance Minister and the Prime Minister, Raja is, I'm afraid he is correct, because he was very clever. In document after document, in press release after press release, he mentioned at that time that he has been enlightened by the Honorable External Affairs Minister, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. He has such and such issue has been discussed in the meeting with the Prime Minister, with the Finance Minister and him. And the Prime Minister asked the Finance Minister to examine this question of foreign equity in Swan and Unitech.
Yes.
So all those things are on record at that time, that he was keeping everybody fully informed. On that there can be no doubt at all.
No, but if you say,
and I can read to you,
if you say that Raja is right to have named the Prime Minister by that context, Mr. Shourie, aren't you cherry picking information that suits you best? And you get on the defensive when he mentions the faulty policy.
Arnab, the problem is with you. You don't want to pursue an issue. You just want to jump to your next question, which you have got written down.
No, I have no question
I'm
written
telling
down.
you have asked one question on the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. The record shows, I am not blaming them, I am not complimenting Raja, I am only speaking to the record. It shows that the Prime Minister, I mean, if you look at his letter, he says, as in our meeting of the 4th of November, with the Finance Minister present, this is what transpired. Prime Minister writes to him on those issues, he replies. Then the meeting is held in the Prime Minister's office, after which the Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister writes that the Prime Minister wants this informally shared with the department. He does not want a formal communication and wants PMO to be at arm's length. All this shows knowledge, not only knowledge, but knowledge of some wrongdoing. Then he wants to keep away from it.
Sure. And
secondly, on the finance minister has himself said that the Prime Minister asked him, he has said it in a letter to the New Indian Express recently, that the Prime Minister asked him to look into this question of foreign equity coming into these two companies, whether it was disinvestment or it was dilution of equity. And Chidambaram gave the view that no, it was perfectly in accord with the foreign direct investment policy of the government.
Point taken.
Now, the interesting thing is that the Enforcement Directorate of the same ministry of which he was the minister has now slapped a fine of 7,100 crores on Eutelsat for violating the FEMA.
I get it,
which he said they were not violating.
Mr. Shourie, now the point is, much of these documents, many of them, and trust me, Mr. Shourie, when I'm interviewing you, I'm listening to you loud and clear. I have no written questions tonight. Question is this, that many of these same documents, it's a matter of interpretation, many of these same documents which have been quoted, which are being quoted, these 6 letters between Mr. Raja and the Prime Minister, have also been part of the Shivraj Patil report. Now, you have maintained all along you are open to any probe, but when one of the many probes into the spectrum allocation has found fault with your policies, you have lashed out and attached political motive to it. You've called him a hand-picked judge.
But Arnab, this is not, I am not quoting from Shivraj Patil's report, I am quoting to you from the Prime Minister's file.
Yes, but the Shivraj Patil report...
How does the veracity of...
Shivraj Patil has also gone into the issue in depth.
What does Shivraj Patil has to do? What does Shivraj Patil have to do? I am not relying on Shivraj Patil's report, my friend. This is a part of the, even of a part of the draft report of the PSC.
Now,
we don't have to rely on reports. The fact of the matter, you asked me a question, is Raja right on this matter? Whether Shivraj Patil says or JPC comes to some conclusion or PSC comes, we have only to go by the documents. And on that, these people are, Raja seems to be right. That's all I am saying.
I want you to take a position on one question.
In the same Raja on the same in the same deposition before the court or statement before the court is, in my view, completely wrong when he says that he was following NDA policies. Kapil Sibal has acknowledged that he was not following. I can show you that he was not following any policy, procedure or principle.
No, Mr. Shourie,
it's not a matter of somebody saying it. I am telling you by the facts.
Mr. Shourie, you had a government press conference today. A government news conference, the question was asked if the Prime Minister knew about, this whole equity issue in Unitech and so on. A government's position is the Prime Minister knew it was dilution of equity by issuing new shares, that there was no disinvestment of promoters' equity. My question to you is, sir, do I have your attention, sir? My question to you, Mr. Shourie, is, wouldn't the valuation of that additional equity have gone up after the grant of spectrum? And therefore, do you believe the government's argument stands?
No, it doesn't stand for one reason, and we have to only go by the government's own actions. If it was just in line with the foreign equity policy of the government, then, my friend, why has this very government, under the Enforcement Directorate of this government under Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, the Finance Minister now, issued a show cause notice for a penalty of 7,100 crores to the same foreign investor for violating the Foreign Exchange Management Act? Why?
Point taken. Last question is the political question. So, I think that point is taken very strongly, Mr. Shourie. Now, here's a political question to you, Mr. Shourie. I don't know if you saw, I don't know if I can call it your party, because you have kept increasingly your distance with the BJP.
No, I had not answered anything about the BJP.
But please, Mr. Shourie, let me ask you, sir.
Ask them.
Let me ask you, sir. My question is, the BJP said, we are very happy if any of our former ministers gets investigated. I mean, I think one gets a sense that the BJP is very happy to see Arun Shourie, who it no longer has a good relationship with, being hauled over the coals on this one. You're not getting political support.
I will not attribute motives to them if they are saying. I am also, forget the BJP, I am very happy to be investigated. As you know, I volunteered to go to the CBI. If the PSC had called me, I would have gone there. If the JPC calls me, I will go there. Arnab Goswami wants to grill me, I am here. What is the problem? BJP or no BJP? No. And I don't think that, I would presume that they are saying it in the context of one point, and that is that you let us investigate Prime Minister Chidambaram, etc. And somebody says investigate NDA ministers, perfectly fine. Let Arun Shourie go there. Hamara kya jata hai usme? Perfectly right.
Okay. Arun Shourie, thank you very much. It's wonderful talking to you tonight. Thank you very, very much. That's Arun Shourie talking to me one-on-one on Times Now this evening. Principal protagonist in this entire matter. Always takes a strong position, not getting political support tonight. Thank you very much for that.